SupaTea Podcast Show. It's been a very interesting week. And as the week closes, this April 24th, I don't even know what the moon is doing, but it's doing something because the sister girl is full of emotions. Uh, Bittersweet. The sweet part is me powering through challenges and um, I guess being reminded of my strength and being reminded of my endurance and also reminding close friends of their strength and of their endurance and powering through. I seen a quote somewhere that said when people have to group up to attack you, it is a reflection of your strength because nobody has to group together with somebody that's against somebody that's weak. And even though I knew there were individuals who felt whatever way towards me, just never ever thought that it would go to the extreme that it has went to where people are like going really really far to I don't even know what their intentions and their purpose is towards me. I talked about this one young lady before briefly in some of my podcasts where she had an issue with my knickknacks. And I know it seemed like such a small, tiny thing, and it did. If that was the only microaggression, it would have never even caught any type of air. But it caught air because it was different microaggressions. Yet, outside of coming on to my own platform and venting about it and talking to close friends about it, and yes, I did talk with her superior about it, um, I did not take it outside of that arena. And even on my platform, I didn't mention her name. I respected her privacy because overall, I felt that her capacity and what she does professionally was good. I just felt like the microaggressions were out of place and also that it wasn't a welcoming environment for people in general, and the space that she works in is supposed to be a welcoming environment for folks to come into. It's supposed to be a safe space. So when people come into that space and they feel like they're being judged or they feel uncomfortable, it takes away from the space itself. And I was under the impression that the space was supposed to be a safe space. But at this point, it seems like it's just another space. It's just another space. It's just a space that some individuals dominate. And it doesn't give me the impression of a safe space because of my interaction there and other people's interactions too in that space. And so, of course, if you're not in a space for a period of time and repetitively and consistently, then you can get, you may not get the whole impression of the space. But when you've been in the space consistently over a period of time and then things are shifting and you're like, well, why are these things shifting? Where do these things come from? It's like, oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, that young lady is like still feeling away and still having conversations and things about me and where I have like already left the space. Like I don't frequent into the space. The director of the space um did extend like, okay, this is a space where you can come and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, not really. Because there was an issue. Just just the microaggressions. The microaggressions is like, okay, whatever. I'm not in the space, and I even advocated for that young lady at one point in time before the microaggressions had um, gotten, in my view, in my perspective, out of hand. It got to a point where it was just like, okay, I'm aware, but okay, now you're just finding stuff. Like, I'm not coming in here to bother you or disrupt you. I come and I sit in my little designated area. And yes, I am vibrant. And yes, I am strong. And yes, my energy is very uh, dy- dynamic. These are things that are about me, but this has been who I've been from the get go. So, like, I came in through the door like this. So, what's going on? And it's not a mask. It's me. This is who I am. I'm passionate. I'm powerful. I'm talented, and you know, um, I celebrate those things inside of myself, and I celebrate those things inside of others. Like, I celebrate others who are successful and impactful and confident and strong. Like, I admire that because I know that those are important qualities and characteristics to have in a society that looks to suppress and to repress and box people into certain categories. I love to see different. I love to see uniqueness. I love to see people free and expressing themselves however they express themselves, whether it's through music, whether it's through poetry, whether it's through art, whether it's vocally. Like, just be you and do you and shine. I love it. 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 And it's just strange to me, people who don't appreciate those things. I know people have been programmed and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, whew, how did it miss me? I'm glad it missed me, but how did it miss me? How did the programs miss me? So that had me a bit in my feelings today because yesterday I decided, okay, I have already contacted all the people that need to be contacted, and I know it takes a few days for people to actually look into things and audit emails and all of this other stuff. But again, I just had no clue. Like, until this morning, I looked into my inbox and I saw a message saying, "Oh yeah, we got reports and this, that, and the other." I'm like, "You got reports? Who you got reports from?" And of course, the way my lovely ancestors are, and I love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. As soon as I ask a question, but most of the time, because I'm asking a question recently that had nothing to do with that. But as soon as I ask a question and then I really like let it go, the answer comes pretty swiftly. So I ask the question like, "Who's writing reports? Like, what? They're just making stuff up." And then ancestors like, "No, that person wrote reports." And I'm like, "What? They wrote reports?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know they were involved in this little tiff that's going on between me and these other individuals. I didn't even know they had anything to do with it." But what? There's reports? What? Hold up. Let me find out. Let me find out. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Anyway, nonetheless, I got all my stuff done. I did my presentation. I kept it very shallow, even though I went into depth, you know. And of course, they want to try to critique me. It's like, all right, you already told me what you want. I heard what you want. I'm gonna give you what you want. You don't want that depth. You don't be, and you know what I think it is? I think that the depth that I went into, um, and I'm talking about a class now. the depth that I went into with me analyzing, because this was called the analytical essay, the depth was too deep. And it made people self reflect, which was great, but they weren't prepared for that. They were prepared to stay shallow and to stay only on um, the the literature itself and not go deeper beyond the the surface. And so I stayed very surface. I said, okay, you want surface? I got you. Like, even though other individuals did go in depth to things, I said maybe perhaps they're more comfortable hearing other people go into depth, because them going into that depth didn't didn't hit spaces that perhaps I hit, and I definitely hit it unintentionally. So it was like they were this individual I had to interact with. They were like, I was just letting them know, hey, my stuff is there. Just want to make sure you got it. Do I need to print it? Because yeah, I kept it surface. I gave you the, what do you call it? The quantity that you wanted. You wanted 5 pages. You got 5 pages. There you go. Boom. Thank you. Have a nice one. Like, what else is there to say? What is else to say? They're upset because they're being they're being moved around, and it is what it is. Like, I wish I could have spent a little bit more time to kind of try to ease, and that's weird as heck, because these people care not a 2 cents about me or anything, but me being who I am, I feel that their transition could have been easier, but they just were kind of like being stubborn, and like, we're this and we're that, and it's like, okay, you guys been given ample time and ample uh opportunity to do these things, and you've had it, like, you've had it. So okay, like, hey, I get another person's attitude towards, hey, if they want to wait to the last minute, that's their business. My stuff is good. And I'm like, I'm glad your stuff is good. And I was like, you guys started? They're like, nope, we're gonna wait to the very last minute. I'm like, okay. And they're like, we're entitled to, because we've been here so long. And I'm like, I don't think it works that way, but okay. They can't make us. I'm like, okay, all right. Being in a place and even having a title, it gives you some type of seniority. However, you still got a boss. Like, you ain't cutting the paychecks. You still got to show up and earn it. So you got to answer to somebody. I mean, I know they know this, and this is something I know, and I don't mind it. It's just make it make sense. And I think giving a person months notice makes sense. Giving somebody months notice makes sense. Hey, in 2 months we're gonna be doing A, B, and C. Okay, thank you for giving me this notice. Now let me prepare and let me start gradually doing things. You don't gotta do everything at once. You can do it gradually. You had months to do it, and you did nothing in those months. So now it's like you got a week, and you got to do everything in a week. And they're like, oh, they can't go in there. They can't do this. They can't do that. Yeah, you don't own the building. I think they can do these things, especially if they've given you a certain amount of time. But okay. Um, I heard the warning. I shared the warning. And hey, people sometimes look at the fact that I'm a student as, okay, well, nope, we don't have to listen to you. We've been here longer than you. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to look out for you, but all right. All righty. Have a good one, all of y'all. Have a good one. And keep it pushing. So overall, it was a extremely successful day in that space. That is a space that, in light of all of everything, because I have to weigh everything, I can't give more weight to the little discrepancies. Discrepancies, number one, are normal and they're healthy, and because they allow the opportunity to stretch and to grow. And I've absolutely stretched. I've absolutely grown because old me, oh, oh, old me, ooh, baby. Old me would have ended up in somebody's central bookings. Old me would have ended up in somebody's central buckets. Because it was smackable behaviors. It was smackable behaviors of others. Smackable. Like, what? Smackable. Definitely behaviors of others that warranted bitch smacks. Yeah. Backhand. Yep. Warranted it. Warranted it. But I know now, in my maturity, that violence does not solve anything. So therefore, it's like, okay, let's deal with this professionally. Let's handle this professionally. But it's like, ooh, how many of y'all? You don't want to take accountability. You want to be like, oh no, I was. You gonna act. You gonna play this. Oh, I was just trying to help out. Because people come in here and oh, you was just trying to help out because when people come in there and they see a knickknack by a computer, they would feel a way. They would get offended. They would, there's stuff all over the place. It's literally stuff all over the place. But okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. That's your story. You sticking to it? Okay. I ain't gonna trip about it. It's over. It's done with. Um, but yeah, it was interesting. I'm grateful for my growth, grateful for everything that's unfolding. Excited. You know, I got some certifications, and I got my frames, and I got my frame ready for my diploma itself. And again, the space, the institution itself, it has its own it has its own energy and its own spirit. I'll say it. It has its own spirit, and it loves me. It likes me there. Like, and it reminds me, when I enter it, it's welcoming. It's those few people that group together. I can count them on one hand, and the other people who have been there and who also are is welcomed wholesomely by that environment and by that space. Them, I don't have enough digits to count those people. There's so many of them, and they're in all different walks of life, all different developmental stages, all different departments, and that's how you know it's impossible for others, those few that I could count on one hand, to create a narrative about me. Like, it's impossible. Y'all could try, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You're trying they're trying to create a narrative about me, an individual who gets along with the maintenance, the cafeteria workers, uh, the students, the staff, and the faculty in the upper management. What exactly do you few people that have a title? Okay, I'm the director of this. I'm an administrative assistant of that. I do this. It's like maybe three. It's three. It's like three women. Three women? It's not even men. It's not even no misogyny going on here. It is women. Like women? Really? That's how y'all feel? That's how y'all feel. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And I know it has nothing to do with me personally. They feel like they have cracked the code of success, and I don't know what that exactly means, but they feel, obviously, they don't feel secure that they've cracked the code of success. Because if they felt secure, they wouldn't be even moved at all by me. But the fact that not only are they moved, they are conspirating. They are forming a conspiracy amongst each other, and it's going to be a bad reflection on the institution itself. So I hope the institution catches and checks them and has have them to cease their efforts, because otherwise it's going to cost the institution, and then it's going to cost them, because there's no way the institution is going to be like, oh, I'm going to keep you after you cost us all this fucking money because you couldn't just leave this lady alone. Okay, all right, they're going to be gone, and it's unfortunate, and I pray it doesn't go that far. Like some disciplinary action, and I think is enough, because that's just who I am. I still feel that people should be able to sustain their families and sustain their lives financially, not at the cost of me, but they can be corrected. Like, you know, allow them to be corrected, but I know they have to allow themselves to be corrected. And even if they don't want to accept correction from me, I pray that they accept correction from those who are positioned to correct them. I'm different. Let me know. I don't care who it is to let me know. It could be a freaking 5-year old. And I know that may sound silly, but if I am uh, in need of some awareness and some light shine upon something that I don't see, I'm listening. I'm listening. It's you can tell and feel correction. No matter who it's coming from, you can feel it. You can feel it. So yeah, I don't mind at all. Nobody has to have a certain title to be able to correct me. And but it does have to make sense though. And I do believe I don't, if anything I have said doesn't make any sense, do comment. Whoever listens to the entirety of my broadcast of this, it's not a particular vlog, this is just a vent, so to speak. Comment. I don't know who actually has the time to do that, or who takes the time to do it, because people are so distracted with all of the noise out there. There's so much noise, and if a person's mind is not disciplined enough, it's so easy to get distracted and, not even notice true value, or invest into true value. So it is what it is. Um, I still have the optimism, especially because the channel is growing. It's like 600 and something followers, and it's an organic, slow growth. I'm not, you know, um, marketing it much. I just come on and do my thing, and then I leave. So the fact that there's so many subscribers, you know, it it supports my optimism. Now I know recently my subscriptions, or recently for some reason I've been young people have been gravitating towards me for whatever reason. I don't know how many young people like to um, listen to talk radio or lectures, or things of that sort, but maybe it's soothing, maybe it's my tonality that's soothing. I have no idea. why um, my recent influctuation of followers have been young people, but it has. And I can sense them and I can feel them, and I ask them whenever I'm doing a live similar to this one, and I see people come in and they're like, "Hi," I'm like, "Hey, how old are you?" And they're honest, and I'm just like, "Okay, this is not a children's channel. This is not. I don't know where your parents are and why you don't have parental controls on your device, but this is not a children's channel." So, you know, not saying that they can't learn from the topics I'm talking on, especially because a lot of youth is, or are, I should say, advanced in their thinking. Their minds operate a lot quicker, just because they have to. They're processing so much information. They're getting thrown so much information at once on a daily basis. So they have to adapt to that, and they have adapted to that. So if they're taking a moment to slow down, kudos to them, because, that's some wisdom right there, to slow the heck down and take a breather, and I guess listen to a tonality that is not abrasive and that is energetically infused with love and kindness. Hey, whatever it is, I ain't mad about it. I just am aware of it. But nonetheless, whoever listens to this, who is adults and who are mature, who have taken the time to listen to my broadcast and my content, yeah, let me know if anything I've said is incorrect. Um, Let me know your opinions on anything that I've spoken on in regards to work. Now, outside of work, because I'm not there right now. I am comfortable right now in my bed. Um, the temperature is great. The space is great. If I want to entertain myself, I have that option. I can listen to some music. I can watch a good show, which I might go and watch comedy and laugh a bit and drink some water and see if I want to cook. Uh, I expected to be with my friend, but my friend is tired, understandably, and she's adjusting, and I feel like she needs to calibrate and ground in her own space. And this is one thing I appreciate about this friendship is like it's a good alignment. It's a good alignment where just intuitively we push and support each other in our endeavors. So, while I was having the experiences I was having, she was having her own set of experiences on a grander scale, you know. However, once again, I celebrate individuals who know who the heck they are and be who the heck they are and know how to self-regulate and self-maintain and speak up and articulate for themselves. Like those are characteristics that I deeply admire and appreciate because it makes life easier. And I absolutely like easy. I like easy. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's talk about the dating life. I don't know whether it actually exists for me officially. Um, Unofficially, yes. Unofficially, it exists. Um, and I did have an individual reach out to me randomly, like, "Hey, what's up? What you been up to?" And I'm like, "Oh, that was a random surprise message on my WhatsApp. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful as far as life. So, like, hey, are you, like, what's up?" I don't think I don't know. I don't think the guys in my generation, and I could be wrong, because when I go outside, I do see couples, you know? I just don't know how the hell they got there. Some are not. Some are clearly unhealthy, and I'm just like, okay, not by any means necessary. No, that is definitely not the motto or the modus operandi for me. My modus operandi is alignment and consensus, like and free will, like all of that. That's a part of my modus operandi. Some people, when just me observing, I'm like, ooh, okay, that pair, all right, that pair, oh, that pair, but they're out there, and I'm just like, okay. And even like I went out last Sunday, I went out, open, and it's like, where the hell? It was one, and I don't even know if that one, no, nah, there was one. There was one um, possible eligible bachelor, and he was working. He was working. He wasn't just out lounging, he was working. And I was just like, okay, where are they at? Now, mind you, demographically, in the space that I was in, there were more men in there than women. But guess what? The men that were in there, they were into each other. And they weren't, it wasn't a subtle thing. It was out loud that they were into each other. And that's cool. But it's just like, golly, where are they at? Where are they at? Where are the single heterosexual black men? Where are they at? Where are they? Where are they? At this point, where even are the bisexual single black man with a good head on their shoulders? Where are they at? Where are they? Like, where are they? Can somebody put in the comments where are they at? Are they at conferences and things of that sort? Because I am going to now. I do have some things lined up. So keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope the frick alive. Um, I have a few galas. I don't know if they're there. I will find out. I joked and told somebody that I was bringing. They're like, "Who you bringing to the gala?" I'm like, "My man." I'm speaking it into existence. Ooh. I'm open and receptive for it to happen. I don't expect it an overnight thing, but expect I do expect to have one, even though the evidence is really not sustaining it. The evidence is not sustaining my expectations. There's a bunch of them scattered around that are that have all these different things going on. Ugh, and it's like the soul is okay, but slowly damaging it. I had this one individual um, who uh, att- showed interest in me, and then when we started communicating, they was like cussing and fussing and stuff. And I don't mean like cussing like having a conversation cussing. I mean like cussing at me like, what bitch? Like what? Who the fuck you talking to? Who the fuck you talking to? Oh hell no. I didn't even say who the fuck you talking to because I'm like, I'm not about to even engage. I'm just gonna block you. I'm just gonna block you. But because their soul is again um uh, I guess good. I hate to describe soul as either good or bad, but because their soul has not been so tainted, even though they have to work on their communication skills and they have other things to work on, it was like they kept kind of orbiting back towards me, and the last orbit they were like really like first it would be like a just I would pass them in the hallway type thing. Then it would be like I'm on my daggone platform minding my business, and then they would randomly pop up. Like I did, I did venture over into Facebook dating just to be nosy and just to see, because I'm gonna be open and optimistic and not put no effort, So I just went to go peek over there, and there they were, there they were, and I was like, "What you doing over here?" Just being cordial and cheerful, and then he was like, "Who the fuck?" or something, some craziness, and I was like, "Okay, I gotta." So we went through blocking and blocking and blocking and blocking, and then um we ended up being in a class together, and because of the previous interactions, I just was like, yeah, this is not someone for me to even have a friendship with, because they don't know how to speak. They don't know how to speak. They don't know how to communicate effectively. And then um, there was a film that was watched, and the film inspired me to think more deeper, even though I'm already thinking deep. But it allowed me to compare. And I know that's strange, but I saw characteristics of the men in the film within that person. And I thought to myself, perhaps they don't know because they haven't learned. It's not because they don't want to know or they don't want to learn. It's because it just hasn't happened yet for them. So let me let me test and see if perhaps in the way I communicate, because sometimes people learn from observation. If people are just observing people, disrespecting people linguistically, they won't know, like, okay, that's disrespectful. They'll think, oh, that's the norm, that's the societal norm. So I'm just going to speak like the societal norm. And then when they meet an individual that doesn't accept it, they're like, well, they got two choices. They can either look at that individual as weird because they're not adhering to the societal norms, or they could say, I'm curious, this person is a little different. And okay, they're not accepting that type of language. So, if I'm interested in this person, I'm not going to speak to them like that. I'm not going to be demeaning and all of that stuff in my language. And, so I gave them that option, and it appeared in the last interactions as if they, not even it appeared, it was evident. It was evident that it was clear that I wasn't going to be accepting a certain type of speech towards me or directed at me. And they adjusted. They adjusted and they adapted, and our conversations were tolerable. They were tolerable and even fun for a very short period of time. And then I began to inquire, about them because, hey, how am I supposed to know anything? And they were open and they were honest, and I, in return, was open and honest. And there were just some non negotiables for me. And I even not reconsidered the non negotiables, but was willing to, what's the word I'm looking for? I was willing to look at the soul of the individual and focus on the positive aspects and make progress, and hopefully it was like inspirational progress. It's like, okay, this is a non-negotiable for me. However, let's prepare just in case. just in case that non-negotiable is something that you work on, because if you're working on it, then it's different. Then you just like, oh no, this is what I do, every Friday I do it, and I've been doing it for a decade, and it's just what it is. And it's like, oh yeah, no, that's hurting you, that's not doing you good. um I don't think you should continue doing that. I look around. There's evidence that there's evidence of that. There's evidence that that choice that you're making is not a good choice for for your mind. It's not a good choice for your physical. It's not something that you should continue to do, even though it's something that you only do on the weekends. Um, I think there's already evidence with your physical self that that's not something you should continue to do. But that's just my opinion. You know, people have to recognize and see that for themselves. And so yeah, I was like, well, let's prepare just in case they decide, you know what, I ain't gonna do that. And what's interesting, what's really interesting is during the brief interactions that I had with this individual, the recent ones, um, they were like, "Oh, I won't do that for you," and I was just like, "No, no, you cannot not do that for me. You gotta not do that for yourself." And it was just like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna keep doing it because I like it." And it's just like, okay, all right. Well, I don't, and you know, this is where the fork in the road comes, and I wish you the best, and but I am not going to tolerate that because I see all around me the evidence of why that's not conducive to growth and to expansion. That's something that deteriorates one from the inside, and I'm doing the opposite of deteriorate. I'm regenerating and rejuvenating, and so that doesn't align with me. So, you know, take care and be well. And left it like that, and that was the end of that. And then subsequently, without me even looking or even expecting it at the time that it happened, um, I met another individual, and this other individual, they're cool, and it's I don't believe that they have that same situation. I'm not sure, because I haven't even had the opportunity to really sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with them. So I don't know. But I definitely am going to inquire when I have the opportunity to. But I have made other inquiries, and yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess people are used to surface shit. Like I didn't ask surface shit. I wasn't like, oh, so, um, how much is your annual revenue? Like to me, that's a surface question. Not saying that it's irrelevant, but the relevancy of someone's finances comes into play when you're actually sitting down and have already decided that you're going to be building something. If you're not building something, what the heck does that even, why does that even play part in the conversation? It shouldn't, in my perspective. And maybe I'm weird because of that, because I know there are other women and a lot of women who that's the first thing they want to know. They're like, wait, what you do? And can you do this? And can you do that? And da da da. And so, yeah, I guess I'm just a certified weirdo. I guess I am just a certified weirdo, and I'll be a certified weirdo. I'm gonna do things that make sense, and coming off the gate without even knowing, okay, what's this person's personality? What's your past trauma? Um, what's your temperament like? What's your communication skills like? Like those, I want to know the character of a person first, because it doesn't matter if you're a fucking billionaire and your character sucks, then we're not going to get the fuck along. So, yeah, for me, character. What's your character like? What's your personality like? Can those things, do those things align? Do those things align? If there's alignment there, then okay, let's see if there is a mutual attraction. Okay, if the characters align, okay, check. There's mutual attraction. Okay, check. What do the goals align? Do the personal goals? Is there alignment there? If those things align, okay, check. All right. Now, what are we gonna do about these alignments? What do you want to do? This is what I want for me. What do you want for you? Do those things align? Okay. What's happening? And it's a process for all of that. I know those things are not something that is discovered in a week or a month. It's a process. But it's a process that both individuals have to actively participate in, not just one. It can't be just one person that's like, okay, I'm curious. Let me know this. Let me know that. It should be a curiosity on both by both parties, and those curiosities should, complement each other. As much as I'm curious, you should be curious. As much as I'm curious about you, you should be as curious about me. As much as I want to know about you, you should want to know about me. And that's how those processes can come to fruition. And not even those processes, that's how those things that I mentioned can be realized, because we're having these discussions and the time is being spent and there's consistency and it's evident for both. And then, then there could be financial discussions then. Those financials should not come into conversation um, before then, because for me, when financials are in conversation, it's for a reason. It's because there's planning. It's because there's alignment. It's because that's there's a reason. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna base um your capacity to love based on that. Like, no, it's a tool. But do you recognize it as a tool, or are you in self mastery, or are you being mastered by circumstances? Are you being mastered by money? Because a lot of people are mastered by money. Like, that's just what they want to talk about. What's this and what's that? Even the and this guy is a cool young man, but he works at the school. Um, he bats for the other team, you know, and it's all good. And he was like, "Where are you going after you graduate?" I'm like, "I'm going over here." And his second question, it wasn't, "Are you going over there because they are providing the best education?" It wasn't, "Are you going over there because it's going to allow you to get your degrees more efficiently?" And no, his first thing was, "Are you going over there because they're giving you more money?" And I'm like, um, no, like, I don't even know what their money. Like, aren't they charging me to be there? No, I'm like, that doesn't govern me. They're like, "Oh no, girl, you need to get with the times." No, I don't. Like, legal tender is great. I'm a business major. I get the functionality of legal tender. I get the functionality of federal notes. I get the importance of financial literacy. These things are valuable, yes. But should they govern human beings? Should they govern human lives? Absolutely not. The humans are supposed to be governing it, not it that was created and designed by a human or a group of humans, not it govern other humans. Because now you're taking away from your own divinity. You're taking away from yourself. And you're placing your own authority, your own divinity, your own substance. You are taking that and putting it into an object. That the object is supposed to serve you. You ain't supposed to serve it. This blanket that is wonderfully encasing my body right now. I'm not supposed to serve this blanket. I'm not supposed to be like, oh my God, blanket, oh my God, let me serve you because, no, it's supposed to be serving me. I, mm, I know. Anyway, I'm grateful to have this platform to share things with and on because who knows if ever, 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 ever. Do you hear my optimism waning? Ever. Who knows if ever, ever, ever weirdo me, will ever align with another weirdo that's similar. Who knows if that will ever, 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 ever happen. At this point, I'm looking at what is my optimism may perhaps be waning, perhaps is inspired by hormones, who knows? But that's where it is right now. Optimism is just like, golly, I, perhaps I need to go to California. Perhaps I need to go to Agape. Perhaps, engulf into individuals who have a similar mindset. Like, I would hope that there's people with similar mindsets that are closer. I'm just, with so many people, in the midst of all of these people, it's got to be some that align with the way I think, and who thinks the things that I say make sense, and not just because, you know, they heard it for the first time from me, but because they internally think similar. Don't have to be the same, but similar where there is a mutual meeting of the minds. Who knows? Who freaking knows? I don't know. I'm open and receptive to it happening. But when and how and all that good stuff, I don't have to worry about. I just have to be open and receptive. So I'm gonna continue being open and receptive. What I can say is each time a possibility occurs where I'm like, like the great soul, I'll call, I like to give nicknames. The great soul who has who enjoys their weekend fiascos. I'm just leave it like that. One of the great souls who enjoys their weekend fiascos that does not agree with me. Um, you know, they were they were close. Just if that weekend fiasco wasn't there, it could potentially have grown into something else. So, the next one that I don't know is terrified and healing, um, and who I don't think have that particular weekend fiasco thing, which I don't know, but I don't think so. Even though I really didn't think the other one did either. But that's why it's always good to ask questions. Don't make assumptions. Uh, yeah, I feel it's a better possibility than the Great Soul. I don't have a nickname for them um, as of yet, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So we shall see. Again, I'm gonna be exploring and outside and interacting, and even though those two definitely happen unexpectedly, I feel because I was open and receptive, I was able to enjoy the interactions for however long they lasted, um, and it'd be cool, If there's absolutely no awkwardness at all, there was no awkwardness. Um, these past 2 weeks, there was no awkwardness between the great soul. That's this person's nickname. There was no awkwardness. It was just like, okay, they're like, hey, I like this. You don't like it? Okay. It was, that's it. It was just like, oh, okay, cool. And now, um, this other interaction is like, mm, nice, cool, awesome. But I had to self reflect and say, am I putting in more effort here? And if I am, why? And once I have these answers, which I do, it's like, okay, stop. Stop, stop. Do not put in more. Do not hold back, but do not put in more. Um, Equilibrium is great. It's a great place to be. It's a great space to be in. Mutuality, those are great things to experience. So, mutual, equilibrium, okay, cool. I think there are things that raise flags, because again, I made suggestions like, oh, what about this? And they're like, oh, maybe, okay, cool. And I'm like, all right, awesome. And then it was like, oh, what happened? Oh, okay, that's a flag. Because what happened? So what happened is that motherfuckers gonna be who the fuck they is, and just because I'm interested doesn't mean another motherfucker's interested back, or that the interest levels are the same. So if the interest levels ain't the same, then I have to recalibrate, readjust, and say, okay, let me find somewhere else to put my thoughts, and let me find somewhere else to put my energy, and keep on just going forward in life as I am, even though I wasn't stopped. It's just, hey, how can I put it in a analogy? It's kind of sort of like, on a road, on a path, to a specific destination, and there's individuals that you pass on the path, and some individuals, it's like, oh, it's so cool, like, are we heading in the same direction? Let's take this path together, but then, there's many forks along the path, and sometimes you just, maybe not heading in the same direction. Maybe this other individual is just at a fork. And even though the company is enjoyable and things of that sort, it's like, oh, it's not the same direction. Oh, okay. All right. Well, all the best, and keep it pushing, And I know I simplified it, this analogy. Um, But no one wants to journey a road alone, although some things do need to be journeyed alone. I don't think nobody wants to do it like that, and I'm just at that juncture, I guess, in my own personal life. I'm just like, okay, and it is what it is. 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 So I feel a bit better conversing, and I don't know. I look at those people that have the robot mates, and I'd be like, that's ridiculous. Nonetheless, none the motherfucking less, I get it. Like I get it. It's ridiculous because I don't feel a robot could replace a human being. However, um, I get it because even even me utilizing this platform, you know, I'm venting and I'm sharing, and yes, I'm broadcasting and also cataloging, and all that stuff is wonderful, you know, because I get to come back, listen to it, I get to publish it, other people get to listen to it. Possibly it inspires their own introspection into themselves and their own thought process into different things. That's great. That's very valuable, and it's valuable to release as well. However, it's still not completely fulfilling because there's no feedback right away. Okay, people may comment again, and that would be feedback, and that would be some aspect of a dialogue. And it's so tricky to have a dialogue nowadays sometimes. It's like, so when I do have a dialogue, which I've had dialogues recently, it's just been really good for me because I'm just like, I've been wanting dialogues. Dialogues are so interesting. Even doing like shows and um, when I say shows, I mean series here on my platform, and I had individuals like, oh yeah, I would love to do this, what you call it, with you, and I'm like, okay, it's a dialogue, it's not a monologue, and they just be listening, and or they wouldn't show up the next week, and I'm just like, oh. And I create these groups. I get this inspiration. I created a group for me and some other women business owners, and it's something that's digital. It's not like I put a lot of what you call it because I my perspective is co-creation. Period. Everything is co-creation. So okay, the idea may come through me. I share it with you. You like the idea too? Okay, this is what's expected. I'm going to contribute, you're going to contribute, and through our group efforts and our contributions that we're each doing, this thing will flourish and grow. Not me come with this great idea, share it. You're like, oh yeah, like it, like it, like it. And then the contributions are only coming from me. Well, then I'm going to stop contributing. Not because I'm not interested, not because of me losing the momentum, but because I'm not going to be the only one contributing. If it interests you, then you're going to contribute. And it doesn't take much. As much time as people spend, and I am one of these people that spend time scrolling and digesting social media and all of that. I also give back. I give back. I don't just consume. I also share. And so if there's a group, then and we all agree that we like this group, what is it a few minutes to be like, hey, this is what's going on, and hey, that, and hey, it doesn't even have to be daily, it could be weekly. A weekly check-in is cool, but that hasn't happened. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to close it. I'm ready to close it because what's going on? I get people got busy lives and things of that sort. However, you make time for what's important to you. Obviously, this group was not important to you. You like the sound of it. You were interested then, but you don't see the value in it, and so it's not up to me to sell it to you. I'm not selling a free group. This is a group of business women. Like, you're a businesswoman, I'm a businesswoman. But I guess why I see more value in the networking aspects is because I literally have been doing things solo dolo. And those individuals have not been doing things solo dolo. They have their mamas, their aunties, their siblings, their community. They have all of that type of support. And therefore, it's like they're not solo dolo, They may be, doing certain aspects, but they always have someone that they can pick up the phone and call and get some feedback from. I don't think I have that, you know? And I'm gonna say feedback. I'm gonna correct that. Say valuable feedback. I don't know that I have that in my entrepreneurship. I'm developing that. I'm getting there. I do have people that I have networked with that's inside of this business cohort, which I can probably call and I can probably bounce business ideas off of. And, you know, it's probably going to be more suitable for us, especially since we're in this cohort for 12 weeks together and we have ample time to interact with each other during the 12 weeks. And then we're going to have a whole graduation from this program together. It's probably going to be more reasonable to create uh, the type of group I tried to create with other women entrepreneurs, with women from this particular group, and so it's all good. It's all good. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. My network is slowly growing. And just like my channel, slowly growing, it's authentic. And that's the great part of it. It's the authenticity. It's not like forced, it's not pushed, it's just natural. It's like, here I am. This is the page I'm on. And other entrepreneurs are like, this is the page I'm on. It's like, let's be supportive to each other on these pages because we need it. No person is an island unto themselves. So I have talked enough. I'm going to find some entertainment and enjoy my Friday evening and um, get back, I guess, to the regular programming. The regular programming, if I have something of interest that I want to share, I have this amazing platform to share it on. And it's a good service and a good opportunity for me to um, go into self reflection aloud and have a catalog of it so I can circle back and, a year from now and be like, okay, where have you grown? Oh, this is where you was at then, girl. Like, oh my God, girl, you've grown so much. You matured so much. I love it. I love it. And just continue celebrating and growing and celebrating and growing and celebrating and growing. And this is a very celebratory year here. And um, yeah, uh, it's a very celebratory year. And I'm grateful for it. So it's good. More to come. It's a new cycle, right? They say it's a new cycle. So let's continue cycling upward and forward. Thank you. I don't know when it stopped. Somehow the screen. I've been yapping for a whole hour. Okay, we gotta stop this broadcast. I think maybe I pressed something in the midst of it, but it is still going. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, see you all Sunday for Soulful Sundays. Take care and be well.